Welcome everyone to the UConn Huskies Dynasty. It was a tough choice between East Carolina and UConn, but ultimately I went with UConn because they have been bad for much longer. The Huskies haven't had a winning season since 2010 and haven't won a bowl game since 2009. They had a nice stretch of 4 seasons from 2007 through 2010. And since then have just been bad. In 2022, they went 6-7, had their first bowl game since 2015, but ended up losing. 2023 was supposed to be the Huskies' year, the year that they rebounded, and they won a bowl game, finally. But they end up going 3-9, having a very disappointing season. And that brings us to today, 2024. I will, of course, be picking the recruiter archetype for my head coach. The new head coach of the UConn Huskies will be Matt Glenn, a quarterback that I drafted after season 1 of my Texans franchise, who went to the University of Florida, so I gave his pipeline as North Florida. I'll be honest, I couldn't find a head shape that looked even remotely like him, so I just tried to get as close as I could. And the man was 6'3", 240, so he's built out pretty well. And of course, you know, I had to go with the quarter zip. So here is the Huskies history since 2004. They appeared in a bowl game in 04, won in 07, 08, 09, and 2010. Since then, not a single winning season. The best years coming in 2015, where they did appear in a bowl game only to lose and end up 6-7, and they did the same thing in 2022. And prior to that, the stretch from 2018 to 2021, they won 4 games total. UConn, of course, historically an elite basketball school, but football has never really been their forte. I want them to be a powerhouse of both, and that is the goal with this series. Just so you know, I did leave the conferences alone for now. They stand as they were default in the game, but I do think heading into season 2, I'm going to make some fun changes. Like Florida State is rumored to be leaving the ACC. There's rumors about the Pac-12 reforming with new teams, and a bunch of other things could happen as well, but I think that the Huskies will remain independent for season number 1, and then year number 2 will find a conference for them to join. Let's meet the players. Our best player is 82 overall, Jelani Stafford, who is a redshirt senior and will be leaving after this season. In fact, from what I can tell, there are 16 seniors that will be leaving after this year, most of which are on the defense. Let's go down the board. You've got redshirt sophomore Nick Evers as the presumptive starting quarterback. He is a transfer from Wisconsin. Behind him, you've got a redshirt senior and a redshirt freshman in Tucker McDonald, who might take over the quarterback position in the future, although we do still have probably 3 years with Evers. At halfback, it's Cam Edwards, a true junior, as well as Victor Rosa. Victor Rosa brings elite speed, and I'm really excited to use him. And then there's a redshirt freshman that I'm really excited about, Darrell Robinson. Already a 76 overall, and he's still got most of his career left. At wide receiver, one of the best players on the team, TJ Sheffield, who is a senior and will be departing after this season. You've also got Josiah Gathings and Brett Buckman, Skylar Bell, Shamar Porter, and Kylish Hicks. At tight end, it's Nick Harris, also a senior. Left tackle is senior Valentin Sen. Left guard is junior Wes Ho. Center is senior Christopher Fortin. Right guard is a redshirt freshman and Ben Morosky. And then the right tackle is Chase Lunt, also a redshirt senior. Defensively, there are a lot of senior starters that we can expect to be leaving, but Price Yates is not one of them, our 77 overall junior left end. At right end, it's Jack Barton, one of those seniors I mentioned. At D tackle, our top 4 guys are all seniors. Jelani Stafford, the best player on the team. Dalmont Gordine, Jaden Simon, and Javon Banks are all seniors. Our left outside linebacker is Tui Famuina Brown, and he will be departing, as well as his backup, Amir Renwick. Middle linebacker is senior Frank Briggs. Right outside linebacker is junior Julian Simon, and then a senior behind him in Alfred Che. We will only be losing 1 corner, and he is way down on the depth chart. Everyone else is relatively young. We will be losing both of our top 2 free safeties in Malik Dixon Williams and Stan Cross, and our starting strong safety in Durante Jones II. But we do have a really good junior, Zachary Spears, who can take over the position next season. Our kicker is Chris Freeman, also a senior, so we will need to be picking up a new place kicker. Our punter, however, is a junior. And that brings us back to the beginning. You can see this is a relatively weak roster, and we are about to lose a ton of players defensively. Here is the prospect list. We do have a 2-star halfback who's quite interested, and a 3-star left tackle that's very interested that lives in Connecticut, in Bobby Ware. He can definitely go on the board. There are a few 4-star prospects that have some interest in us. Paul Townsell, a corner out of Connecticut, is a 4-star recruit, and we are 7th on his board currently, but we will have to compete with the likes of Penn State in order to acquire him. Wide receiver Percy Moma, also interested in Penn State, but we are 7th on his board as well. And defensive tackle Barry Wright, also interested in Penn State. Unfortunately, center is very much a need for us, and there is not a single center in the recommended section that is interested in coming to UConn. So if we want one of these centers, we're gonna have to go after one big time. As much as I hate to keep battling Penn State, I am gonna add Cornell Talbot to our board. And you know what? Maybe it's worth a shot to go after a 4-star guy like Derek Deere. So I've officially added the 35 players we are allowed to target, and now it's time to do some scouting. And I won't lie to you guys, it was hard to narrow it down to only 35 guys. This is a very needy team with all the seniors that'll be leaving after this season. I have used 20 of our scouting hours to scout Sterling Walters, and so far I am liking what I'm seeing. I'm actually going to throw 10 more points into there. We see he's got 77 short and 74 medium accuracy with 90 acceleration and what looks to be very good speed. We'll scout him one more time. 86 throw power with 89 speed. So he's an athlete that just happens to have a decent arm. I actually like Sterling Walters quite a bit. We'll offer him our first scholarship. We're currently 5th on his board, battling with some pretty big name teams like Boston College, Penn State, and Syracuse. A huge need for us is D tackle, and we should probably go pretty hard into Barry Wright. First and foremost, let's get his scouting up a bit, and I'll just go 100% immediately for Barry Wright, and he does look like a pretty solid player. We'll go ahead and offer him a scholarship as well. We found our first gem in Joey Terrell, a middle linebacker from Pennsylvania. 91 speed, 69 zone coverage, 80 tackling. It says he's a pass coverage tendency type, but he does not look like he's actually that good in coverage. But he's super fast and can tackle pretty well. Absolutely, we'll go after Joey Terrell. We are currently 10th on his board, so we need to jump up to the top 8 if we want to be in consideration. And it's another player that Penn State might steal from us. Another guy we're extremely interested in is Bobby Ware, a left tackle from Connecticut. Just looks like a solid player, and we are 2nd on his board. And we've now found our first bust in Matt Day, who was a 3-star tight end that was quite interested in us. I actually don't think he really looks all that bad, and while he might be a bust for a 3-star, the only other tight ends that are interested in us are 1-stars, so he still may be the best available tight end. And that is back-to-back busts with 3-star right end John West. And then immediately after, we find a gem with another right end, David Bliss. So I think we can comfortably remove West from the board and just focus on a guy like David Bliss. And we'll most definitely be offering him a scholarship. We're currently 4th, and he's in his top 8 phase. Wow, I offered Johnny McNulty a scholarship, and he instantly committed to UConn. So we've got our first commit in the series, boys. It's Johnny McNulty. I mostly offered him because we just need bodies on the roster, specifically on the D-line, where we are losing a lot of guys going into next season. He's not the best player in the world, but he sure does like Connecticut, and we love to see that. Another gem end in Marco Portilla. It looks like he is very close to committing to Rutgers, however, so we will offer him a scholarship and see if we can stay in the fight. And we have officially spent all of our hours for this week. The last guy I scouted up to 80% was Paul Townsell, the 4-star corner, who is a bit interested. We're currently 7th for him, and he does look like he's going to be a really nice player. And our first 5 of these coach skill points will go into advanced look QB, so that it takes less time to scout quarterbacks. The schedule for the UConn Huskies this season looks like this. You've got a game against Maryland, FCS East, Duke, FAU, Buffalo, Temple, Wake Forest, Rice, Georgia State, UAB, Syracuse, and then at UMass. Our last 3 games of the season will be on the road. Interestingly, there on the right, you'll see that the 2023 record is listed as 6-7 for UConn. That was their 2022 record. They were 3-9, so maybe just a bug in the game. Here's the preseason top 25. Georgia, Ohio State, Texas, Oregon, and Ole Miss are your top 5. And here's the rest of that top 25. We found another gem in halfback John Straczynski, 91 speed elusive back, also from Connecticut. We'll offer him a scholarship. And another gem in Paul Townsell, the 4-star recruit. We are 7th on his board. It's going to be really hard to get a guy like this. We'll have to keep an eye on it. We are going to immediately send the house with Paul. I want him. We do only have 400 recruiting hours this week, though, as it is no longer the preseason. We have found a halfback that's a bit of a bust in Seth Sidney. Being that this isn't a need on the team going into next season, I'm going to be removing him from the board, and we'll focus on John for getting another halfback. I also went ahead and remove Matt Day. We are not in his top 5, and he's a bust. We will be DMing Bobby Ware to try to get more points on him. We are close to the top, fighting against Boston College and Northwestern. Torrey Browner is a guy that we could probably get with relative ease if we are worried about guards. And we are going to go after Cornell Talbot as well. We're currently not on his top schools list at all, but he does look like a pretty solid center, which is a team need. So we're going to DM him this week, and I've got him fully scouted. And with our final 5 points this week, we will search the social media of defensive end David Bliss, and we are currently number 2 on his board. So we did have a bye week for that first week. We've been locked out of a left guard and an outside linebacker, as well as a left tackle who committed to Temple. Paul is currently very interested in us after we sent the house. I'm very interested in getting him. He could be the top person in our class. We've also stayed at 2nd with Bobby Ware, but it looks like Northwestern really wants him. But with a lot of scouting done and week 1 simulated, it is time, after 11 years, to play a college football game.
Welcome everyone to College Park, Maryland, and the house has been built by guys from Boomer to Diggs. Home to the Maryland Terrapins, where the fans are eager to welcome visitors into the shell. We've got a terrific matchup for you today, rich in pageantry and tradition, and it ought to be a fantastic clash. As we'll see, the UConn Huskies taking on a team from the Big Ten, the Maryland Terrapins. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Time to get this game started.
Long have we waited, and we are finally back. It's College Football 25. Welcome to the UConn Dynasty. Nick Evers, the sophomore quarterback, will lead the offense out for the first time in the series. Now, you'll have to bear with me as I'm learning names and numbers. You can see that Cam Edwards, number 0, Victor Rosa, number 22. Wide receiver 1 is TJ Sheffield. He wears number 6. Josiah Gathings is number 4, and Brett Buckman will wear number 10. Tight end is Nick Harris. He wears number 14, and I'm sure we will get to know the team as we go. So the first play in the series here against Maryland will be a handoff to the halfback Cam Edwards. Nowhere to go. 0-yard gain. Hope you guys are as excited for College Football 25 as I am, as we'll look to throw with Nick Evers for the first time in the series, nearly intercepted. I will be learning these new passing mechanics as we go as well, so you'll have to bear with me there. 3rd down and 10. Nick Evers back to pass, lobbed up and incomplete. 4th down and 10. We'll have to punt it away. The Maryland offense is quarterbacked by sophomore MJ Morris. They've got a very good halfback in Roman Hemby. Wide receiver 1 is Ty Felton, Caden Prather, Octavian Smith. Their tight end is Preston Howard. On defense, after a good return by the Terps, 0-0 here in the first quarter, and it's a handoff to start the day and brought down after a pickup of 1. 2nd down and 9 for MJ Morris in the offense. Handoff to Hemby, and that's Stafford in the backfield, a loss of a yard. Now we move to 3rd down and 10. Can the UConn defense get a stop the same way that Maryland was able to? And looking to throw, but incomplete under some pressure is MJ Morris. and the Terps will punt it right back. Not a great start for either of the two offenses. Here comes Nick Evers back on the field. 1st and 10 from about the 21, and Evers will be back to pass and will throw to the middle, finds Victor Rosa, normally a halfback, and is a receiver on that play. With speed like Rosa, you just got to get him involved sometimes. Out of the shotgun is Evers, and he will hand off to Edwards, who is going to get a good carry here. Goes for a good chunk of yardage, gets to the 37. Now we've got the offense working a little bit. Out of the shotgun again. We'll go back to Edwards. There's a lane here up the middle. That'll be good for a pickup of 3. 2nd down and 7. Evers back to pass again. Goes over the middle. Finds his man. It's Gavings. Victor Rosa checks into the backfield here. Evers takes the snap and hands it to him. Not really much room to work with. Brought down after only a pickup of 1. 2nd and 9 from our own 48. Evers back to pass again. Has a man over the middle again. It's Gavings one more time. Jukes to the outside to find some extra yardage and gets to the Maryland 36. 1st and 10 from that 36-yard line. 5:20 left in the first quarter. Edwards nowhere to go. Lucky to get a yard there. So on 2nd and 9, we'll go to the air, and we've got Buckman over the middle, makes the grab, has good speed, getting down the field inside the 20. Great play there for Buckman, and the UConn Huskies are moving right along. It's 1st and 10 in the red zone now, and it'll be Cam Edwards getting the carry. Room to run, jukes back inside and gets the 1st down yardage. Now a 1st and goal for UConn. From the 7, 1st down and goal. Evers hands off to Edwards, nowhere to go, a loss of a few now from the 10. 2nd and goal. Evers takes the snap, looks to throw, running out of time, down he goes. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and now it'll be 3rd and goal from the 19. 3rd down and a long ways to go for the Huskies. Can they find the end zone here? Gonna lob one up for our star wide receiver, TJ Sheffield, incomplete. Punched out, and now on 4th and goal from the 19, we'll attempt a 36-yard field goal attempt. And I'll be honest with you guys here, I don't fully understand this new kick meter yet, but we're going to give it a try as the kick is up, and it is wide to the right. No good. The drive comes to an end for UConn, and they get no points from it. Okay, I do now officially understand how the kick meter works, though. It's a shame to get no points there, though. Good red zone defense from Maryland. Huskies back on defense here, and Morris looking to throw. Has time, goes right side, finds his man, caught and then down at the 40. Looks like they're playing in the hurry up. 2 minutes left here in the first quarter. 1st and 10 from the 39. So they're in the pistol formation. Morris takes the snap, hands off. Some running room, but a good play by Stafford once again. That's the 2nd time he's had a play like that today. That makes it 2nd and 10 from the 39. No gain, no loss on the last play. Hemby again. Stafford again. He's going nowhere today. That makes it a 3rd and long attempt for Maryland. Morris out of the shotgun with Hemby to his right. Looking to throw. Has a man way downfield, wide open, and caught. Up to the UConn 34, big 3rd down conversion. And now we're in the hurry up once again for Maryland. 38 seconds left here in the first quarter. Still 0-0, but the Terps are on the move. MJ Morris takes the snap, hands off. Hemby makes a move back to the middle and gets some yardage out of it inside the 30 now. 2nd down and 3. Will they snap it before the first quarter ends? They will not. So officially 1 quarter of action into the UConn Dynasty, and it's 0-0 with Maryland looking to get on the board first. To start the second quarter, Morris out of the shotgun on 2nd down and 3. Throws and finds his man an easy 1st down to Prather that time. Practically in the red zone, though technically it's from the 21. Handoff Hemby, and nowhere to go. A good play from the linebacker there. It's now 2nd and 8. From the 19, and it's handoff Hemby again. Nowhere to go again. This rush defense from UConn has been great so far today. I do wish that there was more time between when it shows the play art for the next play so that I can commentate a little bit more, but it is what it is. 3rd and 9. Morris throws towards the end zone. Touchdown, Maryland. Maryland gets on the board first, and it is 6-0. Well, the Huskies are going to have to try to bounce back after a disappointing first drive. Evers out of the shotgun will hand off to Edwards. There's a lane up the middle here. A great block from the center, and that's a 1st down gain for Cam Edwards. On 1st and 10 from the 30, we've got some read option action, and it's going to be Edwards on a keeper. Now we move on to 2nd down and 8. 8 minutes left here in the first half, and that's a pickup of 2 for Edwards. And now on 3rd and 6, we'll go to the air. And we're looking downfield for our man, and it is knocked away. And UConn goes 3 and out. They'll have to punt it away. This UConn team, as we know, isn't the best, but they're also being controlled by a user that isn't the best yet. But I'll tell you what, we can stop the run, that is for sure. A loss of 1 for Roman Hemby there, likely to go to the air here with MJ Morris, and they are indeed. Morris throws quickly, finds the tight end, bad angle taken by the linebacker, and it's a big pickup for Maryland. The offense is moving right along. They've got an inexperienced quarterback, but with excellent weapons around him, and this is a jet sweep, but doesn't get very far, a pickup of 2. 2nd down and 8, Morris out of the shotgun. Will hand it off. Nowhere to go again for Roman Hemby. That's a loss of 3 this time. That'll make it 3rd down and 11. Well, if there's one thing we've learned about this Huskies team, it's that they can stop the run. On 3rd down, setting up a screenplay for Hemby, and a good open field tackle there means it'll be 4th and 6, and they will punt it away. Flag down on the punt here. The actual kick went out of bounds. Roughing the kicker, I think we just gave Maryland a free 1st down. We did indeed. So instead of getting the ball back, the Huskies defense trots back onto the field. What a wasted opportunity that is. 1st and 10 from the 35 after the roughing the kicker call, and it's finally a pretty positive game for Hemby. And now we go to 2nd and 5. Under 4 minutes left here in the first half. Morris looks to throw, finds his man, and Dixon Williams with the tackle. That's Shalik Knotts with another reception. Out of the pistol, it's 3rd down and 1 for Maryland. Morris taking his time, taking the snap. It looks like it could be another jet sweep. It is. It's actually a jet pass, I believe, and there is an injury to Shalik Knotts this time. And it's 4th and inches. They failed to get the first. So the kicker on to attempt a pretty long field goal here. That kick, it is up, and it looks like it's good. It is. And Maryland adds 3 more points. 10-0 Maryland. Can the Huskies get on the board before we head to the half? Look to throw with Evers, and he's hit from behind as he throws, incomplete. On 2nd and 10, back to pass again. Evers steps up in the pocket, gonna take off to run here. A lot of green in front of him, a blocker as well. Evers finally goes down near midfield all the way to the 48. Gotta remember that he is a very athletic quarterback. And now we're to about midfield. And we'll go to Cam Edwards on the ground. Nowhere to go. The D tackle all over at a loss of a yard. We've now hit the 2-minute warning. 2nd and 11. Still trying to get to midfield. It's a screenplay set up, and it's for Victor Rosa, the speedster. And he'll get some positive yardage, and he'll even get the 1st down before he goes down at the 42. 1:40 left. Still plenty of time. No need to panic here if you're UConn. We're back to pass again. And we'll go to the running back, Rosa, one more time. Breaks out of a tackle, but is pushed out of bounds. It's 3rd and 3. On 3rd down, Evers back to pass. Left side wants Buckman and has him, and it's a 1st down for UConn. And on 1st and 10 with 1:20 left, we'll go back to the air. A blitz coming, and we will just dump it off to Gavings, and he makes a juke move and gets to the 20. 1 minute left, 2nd and 2. Evers back to pass. Has Edwards wide open on the side. Well played by the edge defender, though. And on 3rd and 4, we'll try to go to the air. And has a man wide open over the middle. It's Gavings again, and he gets to the 5, down at the 4. That sets up a 1st and goal for UConn. We saw how 1st and goal went for this team last time. Can it go any better this time? We get it to the running back, Victor Rosa. Touchdown, Huskies. UConn finally finds the end zone after a few failed attempts. And it's the 2nd-string halfback, Victor Rosa, getting it done. I love the speed he brings to this team, and I really am a fan of this UConn Huskies backfield. I have to say, after making that PAT, I really like this new kick meter compared to what Madden has had previously. It is so much more difficult to make kicks, and that is excellent because it was near impossible to miss them in Madden 24. We did leave 31 seconds on the clock for the Terrapins, and they do also have all of their timeouts, so it's not out of the question they could get into field goal range here. A great start to the drive. Although, did they not use a timeout there? They did not. Looks like they're going to let this go to halftime. 2nd and 1. They may snap for this play. They will. So they'll give it one last try before halftime. Caught by Hemby, and he does get pretty far to about midfield where he goes down, but time is up. And we move on to the halftime update. This will be my first time seeing it along with you. 99 passing yards for UConn to 130 for Maryland, but Maryland unable to do anything on the ground so far today. Very even time of possession, however. Maryland does start with the football here in the second half as we are underway in the third quarter. And it's going to be a handoff to Shalik again, but goes nowhere. So clearly that Shalik Knott's injury not super serious as he is in the game, number 4 there on the left. Now it's 2nd and 11 after his loss of 1. And throwing immediately, and I believe that's caught. Great play by Caden Prather. Makes it a 3rd down and 1 for the Terrapins. Pretty convertible distance here. And they will hand off to Hemby. He finds the edge, some running room. The best run for him all day. Just tripled his yardage total probably. That makes it 3rd and 10 from the 50. From midfield, Morris hands off Hemby. Running room again. A lot of running room. A huge lane up the gut, and he is gone. Touchdown, Terrapins. It was only a matter of time until their star running back could get it done, and he does so here. Maryland going to take a 17-7 lead, assuming they can make the PAT. Well, we couldn't assume we were going to hold them to 7 rushing yards forever with the running back they have in their backfield. Victor Rosa's in the game. Let's see if he can repeat that as well. But he fumbles here on the first play of the second half for the Huskies. It's recovered by Maryland, and it's a fumble 6. Maryland adds 6 more points after the Victor Rosa fumble. He gets the first touchdown in the series for the Huskies, and then he coughs one up on the very next time he touches the ball. It's going to be 24-7, and it's all falling apart for the Huskies. And we're going to get another roughing the kicker call on the PAT as well. How fitting. What a brutal way to start the second half for the Huskies. Rosa gets us the big touchdown, but then coughs a touchdown up. So we'll look to throw here, and Evers hit as he throws. It's going to fall incomplete. Was looking a little further downfield that time, as we haven't more recently. Evers back to throw again, has a man over the middle. It's Buckman, and he's got room to run past the 50-yard line to the Maryland 48. Under 9 minutes left here in the third quarter. And Rosa is going to get the carry on this play, and he will fight for extra yardage. It'll be 2nd and inches. Still Rosa in the backfield. Edwards must be gassed. 2nd and inches from the 38. And we will carry with Rosa here. Some running room to the outside. Finds the edge, but steps out at the 25. Really am a big fan of Victor Rosa, but can't have fumbles like that one. Maybe it was just a fluke. We shall see. Nick Evers looks to throw. Goes over the middle. Finds his man. It's Gathings, who has been very involved today. A pickup of 8. Is it Gathings? Is it Gathings? Those of you who maybe know the roster a little better, let me know. 2nd and 2. We'll look to throw, and Rosa's just immediately wide open, and he'll get to the 10. It's 1st and goal UConn. Edwards is not injured. I guess we've just been running a lot of formations that involve Victor Rosa. There's Edwards in the backfield now. I guess Rosa's maybe more of a receiving back. Edwards on the carry. Goes down after maybe a pickup of 1. 2nd and goal. Looking to throw towards the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Harris gets the reception. It's the big tight end getting involved for the first time today, and it's a touchdown grab. UConn chips away at the 24-7 lead, now down to 24 to hopefully 14, assuming I can remember how to kick. Well, an absolutely miserable return for Maryland starts them basically inside their own 10, and they will go to the air on the very first play. They're finding the tight end. Dixon Williams couldn't keep up, and that is a first down that gets them to the 22. From the 22, it's 1st and 10. Looks like it was an RPO there, and they go with the P option to pick up of 8. 2nd down and 2 from the 30. Morris out of the pistol will hand off to Hemby, who's got another good lane. The running game been working so well so far in the second half for Roman Hemby. Well, if we can't stop the run and we can't stop the pass, I don't know if we're going to be able to stop this offense. Hemby on the carry. That's more like it. Only a pickup of 1. Make it 2nd down and 9 from their own 45. 3.5 left to play here in the third. Over the middle, finding a man. It's Shalik one more time. Number 4 been very involved today, and they are in the hurry up. 3:15 remains here in the third quarter. 1st and 10 from the UConn 28. Maryland moving right along offensively. And it's a delay of game penalty for MJ Morris. Just never snapped the ball, was lined up with like 25 seconds. I'm going to decline this. As much as it would be advantageous, I think that was just a little minor bug in the game. I'm not going to punish the CPU for it being a little buggy, as he will look to throw on what is technically 1st and 10. And that is completed for a pickup of 7. And that fumble 6 really hurt our odds of being able to win this game, especially with us unable to stop this Maryland offense. Downfield, incomplete. Good defense there. 3rd down. 3rd and 3 from the 21. Man in motion. And it is a handoff to Hemby, a big running lane again, tackled down around the 4. It's going to be a 1st and 10 for Maryland. And when I say 1st and 10, what I mean is 1st and goal, because it's at the 4. Not really 10 yards left to get. MJ Morris out of the shotgun. Back to pass, throws immediately, touchdown Maryland. A late tackle from the UConn defender didn't matter, and Maryland adds 6 more points. This defense is supposed to be UConn's strong suit. Not looking very strong so far today. Minute 17 left here in the third quarter, and UConn playing down pretty big so far today. And over the middle, it's intercepted. That one caught by the linebacker, and UConn will be back on defense. We take a look at the replay. I was looking for Sheffield over the middle, and the linebacker just stayed firm in his zone. If I put a little bit of touch on this pass, it's probably not picked. And in fact, we had the receiver wide open, but a mistake by me. 31-14, and Maryland looking to add more points. A minute 10 left here in the third quarter. Hemby on the carry, gets around the defensive lineman, but brought down quickly, only a pickup of 2. We'll have to learn the strength of this team and try to play to them more, but the defense was supposed to be a little bit better than the offense, and I'm not so sure at this point. Hemby on another carry. Fights for extra yards, gets to the 8. So we start the fourth quarter with Maryland up big, 31-14, likely to add more points on this drive. No pressure up the middle, and a completion that gets them down to the 1. 1st and goal from the 1. MJ Morris is going to look to throw here, and that's caught by the tight end once again. Touchdown Terrapins. Maryland dominating UConn here in the second half after what was a very competitive first half. 2 turnovers have really been the difference, and it'll be 38-14 when UConn gets the ball back. 1st and 10 from the 25 for UConn. 10:22 left in the game, but it sort of already feels out of reach. We get this one to Buckman, though, and he gets near the 40. 1st and 10 from the 39. Evers will look to throw. Oh my goodness, not sure what that was, but it's intercepted by Maryland once again. The play called for this wheel route to get open. I saw Buckman bump, but then I thought he'd get further downfield. And as he's sort of starting to run downfield is when I tapped the button. I thought maybe he'd break away, but instead the lob pass comes very short and is intercepted quite easily. I can see that College Football 25 will also have a wide receiver bumping issue. We'll jump forward in time here. The UConn Huskies defense able to actually get a stop. The field goal attempt was missed, and it's still 38-14. But we're struggling offensively. We've had 2 interceptions and a fumble returned for a touchdown. We'll need to find some stability in this offense if we want any sort of chance. And we'll just check it down to Rosa here. Jukes back inside, which beats 2 Terrapin defenders. That makes it 3rd down and 1. Evers back to pass and has a man over the middle. It's Buckman, who has been super involved today. Edwards back in the game. We're going play action here, and we will take that Edwards check down. Jukes back inside. What a filthy move by Cam Edwards. 6 minutes left in the game, and the Huskies are driving, as we will step up in the pocket, but down goes Evers. I thought we had an extra second there. Now on 3rd down and 17, Evers will look to throw again. And he has Sheffield for the first time today, I believe, and it goes to the end zone. Touchdown Huskies. TJ Sheffield, the star wide receiver, finally getting involved, and he does so in a big way, getting a touchdown and reducing the lead to hopefully 17. Scratch that. We're going for the 2-point conversion. No running back in the backfield, so we are definitely going to the air here. Looking to throw back of the end zone, intercepted for a third time today. They're bringing it out of the end zone, of course, and that will just lead us to the kickoff. So down by 18 are the Huskies. The Huskies defense forces a turnover this time. I'm taking advantage of the Super Sim option since this game felt a little out of hand, but now it might be back in hand, and we'll take the check down to Victor Rosa. Jukes to the inside, gets a few extra yards, a pickup of 5. And now on 2nd down and 5 to throw again, looking for Buckman over the middle, but that is dropped. 3rd and 5, Evers to throw. Has a man over the middle, it's Buckman again, and he gets inside the 15. Another first down for UConn. 3 minutes left to play. 1st and 10 in the red zone. As we'll look to throw, we've got the flat, and it's Gathings on the reception. That makes it 1st and goal. I don't know why I called that route a flat. Most definitely not a flat. 1st and goal from the 11, nearing the 2-minute warning. Evers back to pass, gonna throw off his back foot and finds the tight end. Touchdown, UConn. And suddenly, we are almost back in this game. It's 26-38. After the PAT, it's 27-38. And I think this comeback from the Huskies is a little too late. Maryland up by 11, and they have clock that they can burn, as this will bring us to the 2-minute warning. The offense has been very strong from the Terrapins here in the second half. Hemby goes down, though, and we will use our first timeout. We'll need a stop, a score, and then an onside kick recovery, but I mean, crazier things have happened, as this is a screenplay setup for Hemby. A first down pretty much ends the game, and that should just about do it. We'll still use our timeouts just in case some miracles happen. And this first down will indeed end it. Game over. And look at that, taking a knee actually ended the game immediately, something we've been asking for in Madden for years. The UConn Huskies lose the first matchup in the series. 220 passing yards for MJ Morris with 3 touchdowns. This was definitely a learning experience for the Huskies, and I think specifically for me as the head coach. It's a new game. It doesn't play exactly like Madden, though it is pretty similar, and I've just got to learn the ropes. And it was always going to be an 0-1 start for the Huskies. We take a look at player stats. Nick Evers, 26 of 37, 4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. It was honestly a very good day, just a couple bad throws from me. Rushing, Edwards got 11 attempts for 38 yards. Rosa was actually just straight up better than him and seemed to be in the game more than him, maybe because we had to throw so much there in the second half. Buckman, 7 for 112. Rosa, 7 for 48. Gathings, 6 for 69. Cam Edwards 3 for 10. Nick Harris 2 for 10, and both of his catches were touchdowns. And then TJ Sheffield got his 1 grab, which went for 6. Defensively, Lee Mollett III led us in solo tackles. And if I had to guess, total tackles with a number of 12, which is pretty crazy from the junior strong safety. Jelani Stafford had 6 TFLs, which is absolutely incredible. Mollett III had 3. Famuina Brown had 2. Price Yates had 2, Julian Simon had 1, Valmont Gordine had 1, and Isaiah Davis had 1. No sacks on the day. We could not get to the quarterback. No interceptions. Seems like the rush defense is quite good, and maybe the pass defense is struggling a bit, just from what little we've played so far. Went ahead and advanced the week. There are a few more guys we have been locked out from being able to recruit. I'll go ahead and remove them from the big board. No other commits other than Johnny McNulty. But anyway, that is going to do it for this first episode of the UConn Huskies Dynasty mode. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I'm super looking forward to bringing you guys this series. I know that this first episode was maybe a little bit rough, especially gameplay wise, but just give me some time. I promise you I will get good quickly. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode and you want to see more, go ahead and hit that sub button for me. It does help me out a lot. And I will see you guys in episode number 2, which will come out tomorrow. Expect these daily all week.